Harrison Ford and Helen Mirren were meant to return to Montana for another season of 1923 earlier this summer. But as Yellowstone Season 5 came to an end, perhaps for good, so did the extended Dutton family's mid-season break. The second season of Yellowstone prequel was supposed to begin filming in Montana earlier this month, but it has now been delayed indefinitely. Does that mean it's getting canceled? Let's dive in to find out what we know so far. What is 1923 all about? 1923 introduces a new generation of Duttons led by Patriarch Jacob, played by Harrison Ford, and Matriarch Kara, played by Helen Mirren. The series explores the early 20th century when pandemics, historic drought, and prohibition all plague the Mountain West, and the Duttons who call it home. The series also stars Brandon Sklenar, Darren Mann, Michelle Randolph, James Badge Dale, Marley Shelton, Brian Garrity, Amina Neves, Jerome Flynn, and Julia Schlapfer. 1923, like all the shows based around the enormous Dutton family tree, received critical praise, earning a 91% on Rotten Tomatoes. According to Deadline, the series premiere even shattered the record for a Paramount Plus launch, getting 7.4 million people. 1923 Season 1 concludes with tragedy, loss, and the potential that the Duttons may lose their ranch within the year, taking Sheridan's brand down an even more bleak plotline than what had come before. What will the next season be about? Season 2 details have been kept under wraps for the time being, with nothing known about the future season other than the fact that it will continue the Dutton family narrative. The first season centered on the Dutton family's next generation. According to the description, we will explore the early 20th century when pandemics, historic drought, the end of Prohibition, and the Great Depression all plagued the Mountain West, and the Duttons who call it home. We can only presume that the story will resume following the dramatic events of the Season 1 finale. Nothing left to lose. Michelle Randolph, who plays Elizabeth, Liz Strafford, recently said in an interview with The Hollywood Reporter that she is excited about Season 2, noting that there are a lot of loose ends to tie up. The leads are eager to return. While Paramount Plus has not yet officially announced the cast for the second season of the program, Sheridan appeared to indicate offhandedly in December 2022 that the show's two main stars will be returning to the ranch for more. When asked if getting Ford and Mirren to come on for Season 2 was tough, show creator Taylor Sheridan told Deadline, "They were excited. They just signed on for one season at first. They were really eager to keep going." According to Mirren, the news of a second season was very happy news as far as I was concerned. "I'm interested to see where Kara goes," she continued. Taylor has stated that she is very much of her era, as she is in charge of the house. That is her responsibility, but then he said, "Wait, things are going to happen, so we'll have to wait and see." In terms of working with Ford, Mirren revealed her feelings for her co-star on a Deadline Contenders TV panel. "Harrison is so... I've worked with him before. We played husband and wife in a film called Mosquito Coast many years ago," she explained. "He's just such a lovely person, I must say." Who else will be returning? The characters in this prequel series have definitely taken us on a roller coaster ride in 1923. Not only has there been a lot of family strife, but there have also been a lot of unexpected fatalities. So it's reasonable to assume that the original 1923 cast will not return for Season 2, given that the Season 1 finale is guaranteed to throw some unforeseen curveballs. While Paramount Plus hasn't officially announced the cast, it's reasonable to assume that many of the important performers will return for Season 2. 8 episodes were insufficient to cover the entire narrative of 1923. Spencer and Alex didn't appear to be getting any closer to America, and the priest narrative, the mining subplot, and a number of smaller side plots made it plain that much more would be required to complete the Dutton family saga during the Roaring '20s. So it's hardly surprising that Paramount Plus renewed 1923 for a second season, but it was nice to hear before the first season concluded. With the announcement that the second series will be the final one in the Dutton family's narrative, it promises to be an epic season. Let's talk about what the creator says about this season. Season 2, according to Sheridan, is the second half of Season 1 and will wrap up the tale. "This one is different than 1883, where I had the entire thing blocked out in my head," he added. "I had no clue what I was going to do with this one. I just returned from a trip of my own, and I was the one who made the call to the network, which was probably the best call they'd ever received. Hey, I need to complete this narrative with additional episodes. This must be completed in 2 blocks. To tie things off, there will be an 8-episode block followed by another 8-episode block. I can't tell the narrative in 2 episodes and do it right. It's excellent for them because they receive more material. I get more runway for myself. Is the show getting canceled? Season 2 of 1923 does not yet have an official release date, but the release calendar of Taylor Sheridan's series does, because Harrison Ford stated in February that he was eager to begin filming Season 2. The series has yet to begin production. According to the Digital Fix, the first season of 1923 began filming in August 2022 and broadcast 4 months later. A similar tight production timeline could guarantee that 1923 Season 2 releases soon after it is shot. However, one major issue is that it may be a long time before the season begins main filming. The series has been delayed owing to the WGA writer's strike, and because the WGA does not appear to be close to reaching an agreement with the AMPTP, it might be many months, if not a year, before 1923 Season 2 begins production. Worse, after the strike ends, there will be so many schedule issues with the performers that production will have to work around, thus delaying the series premiere. It is crucial to emphasize, however, that the season has not been canceled. Season 2 of 1923 will still be created, it's just not certain when, and viewers may have to wait a long time. Unfortunately, this news continues a 1923/Yellowstone production trend since it follows a major fight between the network and Yellowstone main actor Kevin Costner. How 1923 connects to the other Yellowstone shows. Since the Dutton family and the Dutton Ranch first appeared in Yellowstone, their ancestry merits a number of series worth of backstory. 1923 provides further details about the infamous Duttons by acting as a link between the first spin-off series, 1883, and the contemporary story of Yellowstone. James Dutton from 1883, played by Tim McGraw, had an elder brother named Jacob in 1923. Previously, Spencer was seen as a little child in a Yellowstone flashback that took place in 1893. Despite passing away in the climax, Isabel May returns as Elsa Dutton, but only in voice as she recalls 1923. The Dutton Ranch will withstand the difficulties of 1923, but how they do so may show why the Dutton family of Yellowstone's day defended their property with such ferocity. Where can we watch this season? Given the current state of development, we have a long wait ahead of us, but rest assured that as soon as we learn of a 1923 Season 2 trailer, you'll be the first to know. The first episode of 1923 Season 2 will probably air on the Paramount Network before going exclusively on the streaming service. 1923 Season 2 will be available to watch on Paramount Plus when it is released. Remember that the original Yellowstone program airs on Paramount Network and is available on Peacock. Then there's 1883, Bass Reeves, which will premiere on Paramount Plus. Even though this season might be the last season, don't be sad. The creator has more stuff lined up for you Yellowstone fans. Taylor Sheridan is also said to be working on 3 additional Yellowstone storylines: 1883, the Bass Reeves story, an expansion of the 1883 narrative with new characters, and 2 further programs portraying Dutton forebears from the 1940s and 1960s, respectively. We can't wait to see what he has in store for us. Let us know in the comments if you are a fan of the show and eagerly waiting for their next season, and make sure to subscribe for more.